What was that?
He said 3, 2, 1, go.
I just heard 3, 2, 1, go. Well, go, not go.
That's just go. Slow down.
Oh, well, that sounds like gore, but I know, well, semantics. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and all those joining us in the Chizat, live here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel and listening to us on the Horny Goat Podcast Network. It is No Bucks Given. It's everyone's favorite episode. It's episode 69. Yes, we finally made it.
Is it 69? Episode 69?
It is episode 69.
Now you got to tongue punch my fart box.
I love
everybody out there. Welcome to episode 69, where that's not happening here.
Not yet.
Speak for yourself.
I have been trying to get Heather to show me her boobs all day, and she won't do it.
Well, sucks to be.
Wah, wah.
Hashtag fuck me.
But by the way, I love it. In the description. I was trying to read some of the stories because I have very little to go off of what we're going to be talking about this evening. But I did love how Basement set this up, and it just says tonight on the 69th, yeah, baby, episode of the show in parentheses.
I have my fun. Okay, I have my fun.
Yeah,
baby.
We're gonna have a lot of fun this evening.
Okay, just I hope you guys like the fucking thumbnail. Because I can't wait for a couple of things.
Work of art, as Basement always does, his beautiful work of art.
Especially that fucking swimsuit. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until just a sec, like literally 5 seconds before we hopped on here, and I've
only seen it. I don't even know what it is. But I know what it's about.
Kill it with fire.
I can assume that
I didn't add any context for anything, so
I was gonna say
good fucking luck. Well, nothing was added in the fucking thing. I can't. I just can't.
I can't even. Welcome all y'all to No Bucks Given, the show we talk about basically anything we ever want to, or just random shit that's going on in the world. We got some wonderful people joining us in the chat live. We got Alpha, we got Federico, we got Paul Arzola, and Jug and Million just joining us as well. What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all coming in for the support. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, all that fun jibber jabber. We got the Horny Goat crew with us talking everything. You guys know me. Of course, I got the power couple, JP and Heather, and Canadian Basement. We had a thrilling weekend with a lot of HGGM with Money in the Bank, which I'm still fucking recovering from because, wow, it was a lot of fun. There was some good shit. There was some good matches.
It was a lot of fun.
I got up at 9:30 this morning. I was doing one.
I got up and wanted to die, and then I worked, and now I'm here.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Like shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things, okay?
No, there's no, don't. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything tonight. I
took 2 shots of super strong alcohol, and I think it's now starting to take my brain.
Yeah, what did you take?
It's called Ray and Nephews. It's overproof. It's 65% alcohol.
It's bad if it's fucking called overproof.
Yeah, it's...
Hold on. What's it called? I need to look this up.
It's called overproof. It's Ray and Nephews Jamaican rum. You should not... It's supposed to be mixed.
So if it's 80% alcohol, so if none of you know what, alcohol, do you know when you're talking about proof, you just multiply it by 2. So if something's 100% alcohol, which you're just drinking fucking alcohol, it's 100 proof. So 100% alcohol would be, and
200 proof.
If I remember right, it would be
rubbing alcohol. And you're dead?
No, Everclear. Everclear is like 100% alcohol.
I don't think you are meant to take that.
Oh my god! I'm just looking at this bottle, and I thought you were like kind of like fucking like over inflating, and I just see red on the bottle, 63% alcohol. Jesus,
so it's 126%. 126%.
It's bad.
You should be running the stream if you're
taking. I got this, bro. I got this. Don't worry.
Fucking set it for success.
Alcohol that has 5% alcohol in it. So I've drank 5 of these. So I have drinking 100% alcohol.
Yeah, I'm now drinking just regular.
Wait a minute. Go back on that math for a minute, please. I need to stop for a second.
Where did you carry the one?
I'm going to rephrase that because I am wrong.
Yes.
I was about to say you're way the
5% alcohol. Each drink of these 5%, so I've drank 25%.
There we go. That's a little bit better because you're like,
Sorry,
you just drank.
See ya.
I think you just
So
drank
I'm really good at math,
5%
but not
alcohol.
tonight. Sorry.
it doesn't help you drink it out of a mop bucket. I don't think that's the right
That's
thing.
not how it works, but I'm with you.
I got boobs on my mind. Right?
So I guess not wearing a bra all day.
I'm with
man.
your math makes no
This
sense.
score, and she just looked at me like, "Yeah."
That's what you were doing? I didn't know.
For the love of God, well, see.
The man's been drinking 150 proof. Carry the one.
I didn't even
He's had
see
at
him
least
do it.
5 fives.
I walked
In his
by you
mouth.
once. I went like this, and you just looked at me like, "Yay, you too."
That's actually
Probably
pretty
what I thought you were doing or having a back spasm.
If I'm having a back spasm, you know when I'm having a back spasm.
That
It's
is
called an
exactly
erection.
what I've done a few times while I'm walking. While walking and having a back spasm.
No, so I'm
those
still-
sneezes, yeah.
I would imagine like Michael Jackson shit.
I don't. So I'm still having a little bit of the back problem, but it's not as bad as it was. But every time I take a step, I'm afraid I'm gonna fall. So I do this every once in a while.
Every
Wait.
step
Every
you
step you
take,
take. Damn it.
I'll be watching you.
This is what happened. Wait, just you all motherfuckers, just wait until you get to be as old as I am.
I feel
First
like
off-
1008, man.
First off, you're assuming a lot.
I've been told by doctors that I have the body of a 70-year-old man because I can. Heather's seen me run, and it's not pretty.
I've been told.
His arms move faster than his legs.
I've been told by doctors I have the body of a 70-year-old woman.
So you're in the same boat as I am, except you're younger than me.
No, doctors just never told me anything. They were just like, "It ain't good, bro.
Just leave the room.
We're gonna have to see you again soon."
I've got
This is
arthritis really bad in my back. Just every once in a while decides to say, "Hey, guess what, fucktard? We're gonna show you how old you really are."
You just sneeze. Achee!
I did that. I did the Michael Jackson thing.
You did it on street.
I had a back spasm in the car, like the day after I got back, and I went in the car.
Oh man, the money I would have paid for a dash cam of that.
Heather was gonna record me having spasms because I would have a spasm like every.
Walking through Walmart,
Can't put that on YouTube.
Away from pulling out my fucking phone because every fucking other step. Hey, how you doing?
So it's like
I was
the
literally saying hi to people. Because they would walk by and I'd have a spasm like, "Hey, how you doing?"
It's like the fucking like comedian from like the 30s was like, "Nice lady." Yeah.
that would be new age version of Girls Gone Wild. Man goes old.
Geriatrics gone wild. Fucking. Oh Jesus.
Exactly me having a
So-
spasm.
We got some good, some decent topics here tonight. We got some other ones that we haven't listed in the description, but if you guys want to follow along with some of the stuff we're talking about, most of it is listed in the description box below if you're watching us on YouTube. And of course, in the description if you guys are listening to us on your favorite podcasting platforms. We're on everything. We're on fucking Anchor, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and everything in between. So if you're listening to us there, give us a big old 5-star rating. The Dave Meltzer rating would be greatly appreciated. Helps give us presence as we grow to fucking hundreds of episodes. It's fucking insane, man. That being said, I know JP has been itching to talk about this literally since the moment I hopped on Discord this evening was about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his proposed responsibility for the DC downfall and the likely firing of Henry Cavill. So I've heard a tidbit about this, and essentially, and you guys can correct, people in the chat here and obviously on the call can correct me if I'm wrong, but basically there was a lot of rumors. This was either right before or right after when they announced that James Gunn was taking over, that The Rock was essentially kind of strong arming WB and Warner Brothers and DC to kind of do what he wanted to do. And the reason that Henry Cavill Chevrolet came along is because they are represented by the same agent. They have the same agent together, so they're obviously not buddy, but obviously, mutual interest. So the idea or the insinuation is that like The Rock kind of like strong arm DC and be like, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm fucking taking over, suck it, bitches, etc. and so forth.
Essentially, that's what the article says. He basically, they had told him that they wanted The Rock to do a end scene, credit scene with Zach Levy because of the Shazam movie. And he declined in it so hard and then fucking started dropping hints about Superman showing up in his movie Black Adam, which then subsequently made people forget Shazam and wait for Black Adam to release.
So I'm just going to ask everybody in the chat, who likes The Rock? Because y'all are going to hate me by the end of this. Because fuck that guy.
By the end.
The guy is a literal piece of shit. I
literally
never cared for the guy. I've always said he thinks he... Fuck him. I don't care.
he thinks he...
I think he is a literal garbage human. I think he's a literal garbage human being. I really do. I don't like the guy. I never have, and I never will. I don't give a fuck what he did in WWE, because the only thing that motherfucker was good for was get Stone Cold Steve Austin over, which he did. That's it.
What if he saved you and your entire family?
I still don't care.
I run back into the fire.
It can't happen.
I just love the. In my opinion,
the fire.
Because I think fuck him.
He's a fucking garbage human being. He's essentially showing his true fucking colors. I'm bigger than fucking everybody, and I can do what I fucking want. That guy, eat an ass.
Somebody at the studio even sat there and said,
he's a piece of shit.
Anonymity.
Go ahead. He's a piece of shit.
Is the Tourette's over? Somebody at the studio under anonymity said that The Rock really only did this movie to extend his brand.
Piece of shit.
I don't think that's true. I think like in the end, I don't think. Okay, so there's a level of like absolute artificialness that you see with The Rock. He is like if a corporation gained sentience and became a person.
Yeah,
there's like a super fakeness to him that I know that he's gone on record and say he like struggles with this and that and stuff, but it's just the way that he like delivers things. It's like you have like when you see someone like that and there's like no cracks on the surface or nothing and there's no real, you got to be like, okay, well, is this an actual person or AI?
I don't think that like the argument of like flexing his brand, I don't think that's the right way to describe it, because DC was not thriving before The Rock came along.
He made it worse.
Well, I feel like
he
had this was a passion project for him and he put a lot into it and he wanted it to be big. But like you look at the person that's doing it, first of all, he went from wrestling to like pretty much conquering everything and like making all the money in the fucking world. Like he's like a super perfectionist, and I think someone like that is going to be extremely difficult to rein in to be part of a bigger picture when the bigger picture isn't The Rock.
Here's the thing.
Oh God!
The Rock thinks that he can make things better by just being who he is. I can guarantee you, and I don't give a fuck who will fucking come on here and say you're a piece of shit. I am a piece of shit. All right? I'm an asshole. I'm a dickhead. The Rock is a piece of shit. He thinks he knows everything. He thinks he's the biggest thing since Wonder Bread. I will go so far as to say that John Cena is 10 times the fucking actor he is.
I could agree with that with the work he's done with just Peacemaker.
Oh, John Cena actually, like, there's a person there.
get behind. John Cena's, and it's not, before anybody says anything, it's not the color of his skin. I think The Rock is fake as fuck.
That's the vibe I get from him. I've met a couple people in my life that kind of rub me that way, and it's like you can kind of tell because I've seen pretty much every fucking movie this guy was in. I've seen him in wrestling. I've seen a lot of like even the backstage shit that I was talking to you guys about with Mick Foley, Beyond the Mat or whatever it was the other night. Even in back then and backstage, he was the same. There's like he seems to be like surface level perfection and nothing below.
Right. He thinks he is what WWE was. If that makes sense. He thinks he is I literally think he thinks he made WWE what it was.
Well, I mean, you have to. The thing is, at some point in time, you got to step back and say, well, he is a brand unto himself now. In all honesty, like he's become a corporation. This is like the final evolution of The Rock. He's become a corporation.
You ever see that South Park episode where fucking ads becomes a sapient?
It's kind of like that. I mean, I wouldn't. The thing is, like, the idea was that The Rock was the nail in the coffin. I can kind of see that, but the coffin was already fucking nailed with DC before Black Adam. Black Adam was, I guess, a chance for them to revitalize. It didn't do that. Nothing. Well, yes, okay. Nothing was really a chance for them to revitalize, but there was a lot of hype around the Black Adam movie. It failed, and it also, like, I guess because of the agent connections with Henry Cavill, and a lot of the fucking fans of the Snyderverse and Henry Cavill would like eat your skin for talking bad about it, but it wasn't great.
I haven't seen the movie.
The first Superman wasn't bad, but it just wasn't.
I've seen both of the Supermans. I've seen the Man of Steel.
I didn't see Black Adam.
I haven't seen Black Adam.
And that tells you something when you have no interest. Like, I've seen pretty much everything else The Rock was in except for Black Adam.
I can tell you, I don't think he's that great of an actor.
He's not. He plays The Rock and everything, but he's like a modern day worse version of Schwarzenegger.
So the one of his first movies, not the Scorpion King, but he did a movie with Sean, the guy that
Sean
played
DePaul.
The Rundown or whatever that fucking movie was.
It was Walking Tall, was it?
It was Walking Tall or The Run. I think it was in both of those.
No.
When he was in the jungle. Wait, that's half his fucking career.
What?
You heard.
Either way, that movie, he was The Rock.
Yeah.
Every fucking movie this guy does is The Rock.
Federico, I can agree with you. I liked Doom, but not for The Rock. I liked Doom because of Carl Urban.
Doom was such a mess of a movie, though.
There was the only reason that movie got as much hype as it was because The Rock was fucking in it.
I think
the only reason people liked it was the point of view shot that lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah,
that was basically the game.
Yeah, I think where I will agree with it is that if I've seen Black Adam and meh, it's not like even taking away the interconnectivity, like. I hate using this as an excuse because everyone's trying to do their own fucking cinematic universe. But even taking away like the goal of trying to connect things together, it was just a mess. It's the mess of like, okay, it's about Black Adam, but Black Adam is not a hero yet. He is.
Yeah, it's like they really pussyfooted around the idea of him being. I'm a bad guy, but it's like, are you really?
But nothing beforehand did a job to like hype it up as much. It didn't do as well in the box office as it was supposed to. The idea of like Heather said with like Henry Cavill coming back with Superman is a bit ass backwards considering we thought we were pretty much done with anything Snyder related, and that's just a whole. It's just a fucking. It's a mess of a movie, a mess of an end result as far as what comes out of it, and it's just bye, peace out, see ya.
You know what, with The Rock, the way that I look at it is not just like he's not really a selling point for me. It has to be The Rock plus the project he's in, And if those
Actor-
two things kind of like, if people would watch it as long as it's like starring action hero inserted
Well-
here, it doesn't have to be The Rock per se, but a lot of his movies that were successful, I think, were because of the movie they were or the property that they were going with, and then he got attached. Because there's movies that he's in that I don't think did fucking Jungle Cruise do anything. I don't think anyone even gave a shit about that movie.
No, as soon
no.
as it launched in theaters, it also came directly to Disney Plus.
So there's nothing that this guy has done that I have ever given a shit about. Ever. WrestleMania 15 was probably the only thing that I give a shit about. The only thing he could do was oversell a fucking Stone Cold Stunner.
And that's another thing too. I think a lot of people look at him fondly because he was really good on the mic. Like his mic work.
Yes, and I will give him props. He was very good on the mic, but as an actor, he sucks because he does the exact same thing that he did on the microphone. Like I've heard this over and over and over again. Why do I have to? It's the same movie with him. I just don't care.
The thing is, his mic work, it's so weird because I look at the mic work in WWE and then I look at like the things that you see him in and like anytime you see him talk outside of the movie industry, like, interviews or him and the fucking motherfucker, every fucking time I see this guy, he's inside a gym because like he lives there and like.
He had one built onto his home.
Well, no, he like travels with one, but it's every time I see him, he's in this fucking traveling gym, drinking some shit, and he's like, "Yeah, when I'm done here, I'm gonna pound 12 fucking liters of my shitty ass tequila."
By the way, Basement, to your point about like wanting to go see him in something or being the drawing factor, I really don't think too many films, and this is a little bit of a side tangent here, but in general, it's not about fucking the actor or the actress per se anymore. It's about the fucking IP.
I think there's only a few actors that can draw almost regardless of the IP, the actual IP.
Yeah,
The Rock is not one of them.
No.
thought he was.
John Cena is, though.
Do you know?
I don't think John Cena is either.
He's getting there.
He's close.
I think John Cena
I mean,
is.
he plays in his wheelhouse, which is where he belongs.
Okay, so the movie that he was in with Amy Schumer,
Trainwreck? Yeah, no.
probably the fucking best scene in the whole fucking movie was the scene with John Cena.
John Cena is perfect in action comedies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. That's where he should stay, and almost that's where fucking The Rock should have stayed. And then he started to like. I think the problem is in this. Black Adam's supposed to be serious, and it just doesn't work.
He's kind of serious.
John Cena can do serious.
John Cena can do dramatic, serious to an extent, but like it has to be still mixed with like Peacemaker has moments where he is serious and where it's dramatic, but he needs to have that comedic buffer.
I will say this: Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger, his character was serious, but how
many one-liners at it?
How many
fucking
everything he did was comedy. He's the same.
It's the same thing with Chucky. How many fucking one-liners should we get from Chucky?
So I just find Cena can play. You have to add comedy into if you want to make, for me, a serious movie. You have to put some comedy in there.
I mean, that's
what sold me on Schindler's List.
Overtly, just everything is fucking funny, but I mean,
to make it more emulate real life, there needs to be some comedy.
I think every movie has to have some sort of fucking comedy and sadness. The perfect movie for me would have the three major emotions.
Well, I don't think
sadness, happiness, and laugh. Sadness, happiness, and anger.
Distress.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, I can't. Like most movies that even if they have like 95% fucking depressing shit, there's always like that moment of brevity, because if you just have depressing shit, there's no buffer, there's nothing to like, bounce off of. To like, if it's all sad, it won't mean as much as if some of it was happy and then turn sad. But what like, and okay, good example of like the Rock versus John Cena. John Cena's worked with James Gunn a lot, and I don't think The Rock would work as well with James Gunn. I just don't see him like taking a step down and bowing to pretty much anybody else. Where like, the other
More
wrestlers.
background character rather than being the front
John,
character.
John Cena. John Cena will work with. I think John Cena will work with anybody.
I think
John Cena worked with Jackie Chan plenty of times over.
I think John Cena understands that like this is what I'm good at, and other people are better at other things. So I'll allow myself to learn from them. The Rock just seems to be like, and there's fucking James Gunn's worked with every other fucking wrestler that turned movie star. Why would he not work with The Rock? Right? Maybe the opportunity didn't come up, but I think The Rock is like, he thinks he's bigger than the movie he's in, and it's not great.
Bigger than Hollywood, period.
That's what I'm.
And I mean, for a while there, I kind of was getting there. Well, all of his movies are trash. Like they're all like 5s out of 10 max.
You're in a new movie every 6 fucking weeks.
But this movie would have had that. Oh, maybe I need to take a step back and really evaluate how good I am. No, The Rock is probably like, well, it wasn't my fault. This movie was bad. Well, actually, it was, you motherfucker.
Well, it wasn't just his movie that affected. That's the worst part. Like, except for Flash, obviously Shazam did not do well, from what I remember. Flash is going to be...
Shazam is they also released at the same weekend as fucking John Wick 4.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Keanu Reeves is another guy I could give a shit about, but that's
I don't have any issue with him. I don't really have any issue with any of them. They fucking do what they want. I don't have to watch their movie. As far as him like fucking destroying the DC universe was destroying itself. Yes, he didn't help.
In the article, they didn't say destroy DC. Sabotaged Shazam is what he did.
Yeah,
he definitely did that. I will say that is 100% true, and I know because like the fucking Shazam actor like outwardly came out and said like he fucked us.
Yep.
And I could see that because that's very much believable for The Rock to do, and I feel like even last time when I was talking about Beyond the Mat, it's like Mick Foley's like, I just wish you didn't hit me in the head with the chair that many times or whatever. It's like the Rock will fucking climb over dead bodies to make himself like super popular. He seems kind of like there's a kind of like a scummy arrogance to it.
I'm surprised he hasn't tried throwing his head into the fucking Mortal Kombat fucking universe yet.
Oh, there's still time.
Give it a minute.
Wait till it gets bigger than it is, and then he'll show up.
Yep.
And kill it. No, he's I don't know. It's like the Rock I think had his heyday for those like 8 years, 10 years, and the last 10 years where he was up there. Now he's like a part of XFL and part of this and part of that. XFL, what the fuck is that going to do? Can we actually say
tax right off?
Anybody that thought that was going to be a fucking good thing, whoever him and his partner, I think it's his ex-wife. I think
his ex-girlfriend, yes.
Well, no, his ex-wife.
I thought it was his ex-wife, to be honest, but I don't know.
Anyway,
it doesn't really matter who it is. She's super jacked.
Part owner for the fucking league, and I've literally watched it, and I can tell you right now, it's like watching fucking Tom Brady try to play.
It's the CFL.
It's bad. No, it's worse than the CFL. It is worse than the CFL. At least
coming from a Canadian.
Well, I mean, the CFL is a knockoff of the NFL, but the thing is, it has like backing from it being a Canadian football league, so it's going to have the backing of Canada, broadcast and everything. XFL needs to like fight for everything it gets. So I don't know how that's going to work.
They score a touchdown. Like I've seen literal games, and I love defensive football, but I can honestly sit here and tell you that defense is not the reason that they don't score points. It is the offense is so fucking bad. It's horrible. It's like at least in the CFL there is some semblance of offense and there's some creativity as to what the CFL does. I wish the NFL would adopt what the CFL does.
The CFL is like fucking pretty much like the minor league for the NFL, but it's all the fucking people that can't play in the NFL anymore come over and play in the CFL. Like that's fucking the league.
The difference between the CFL and the NFL, though,
There's a couple rule differences, yeah.
Well, you can have more than one person in motion in the CFL as long as they don't cross the line of scrimmage. Receivers get a running start in the CFL, which is in the NFL, you can only have one person moving at a time, and they cannot cross the line of scrimmage. They can't be moving forward. In the CFL, you can. It's
And everybody apologizes afterwards.
no, nobody apologizes.
Sorry.
Sorry.
CFL does do some things that I wish the NFL would adopt because it would make the game much more exciting. But then you're limiting the opportunity of the fucking defense. What I would like to see in the CFL is a fucking cornerback, fucking offensive guy. Fucking, he goes into motion, he gets a running start. That fucking cornerback drops back and just comes out and just fucking clotheslines the fuck out of a receiver. I love that.
JBL
like
action.
Waterboy.
Yeah. This actually leads me to like
5 yards, fucking blows his ass up. Fuck yeah, that's what I would do. Fuck
not the football conversation, but this leads me.
Garbage. I don't know why anybody thought it was a good idea.
Well, it doesn't help that half the fucking players that are in the XFL are also retired.
Or flunkies,
Yeah.
flunkies from the NFL.
This leads me to like the idea that I wanted to talk about for a while now, and I've been thinking about. It's a lot of these fucking actors. Most of them are actors that have like transcended. There's like a new version of like superstar or like celebrity.
I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, that is like I'm not just an actor. It's Ryan Reynolds. These type of people that like they act, but they also want to own teams and have vodka brands. It's like I want to have my hands in every aspect of entertainment and of like fucking consumerism.
I think it's also them trying to diversify their portfolio for better or for worse. So that, hey, what do you mean? Well, because that way they don't have to like have just one sole source of income.
Yeah, well, one sole source of income is that make millions of dollars. It's just like the idea, like
people that fucking bitch about the fucking conservatives and all this shit hoarding all the fucking money. Fucking.
Well, I'm
not
like,
saying like I agree with
like,
them or that.
Like my question is, you're an actor, you're a person that is the face of an alcohol company or food company. Because the Mark Wahlberg's that shit, like, you know what I mean? And then you have people that are now buying teams. Like, how are you ever going to do any of that properly? Like,
Chuck Norris with the Bowflex.
Like, at this point, Ryan Reynolds was trying to buy the fucking Ottawa Senators. You're going to have him own multiple fucking teams, and you're going to have him also be acting full-time. I saw this thing for Deadpool where the director was like, he's too fucking distracted by his soccer team. It's like, yeah, well.
I was gonna say, on one hand, it's somewhat smart to diversify their portfolio in terms of like getting more income.
I hate the new age celebrity that is becoming.
Well, he's just sold Mint Mobile, so he's got to do something else to fucking do.
But like the thing is, oh God, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Contagious.
The new age celebrities aren't even really, half the time they're not even good at their original craft, and yet they're super popular, like the fucking Ice Spice and people like that. I didn't even know she was a fucking artist. I didn't know she sang or anything. I just thought people wanted to fucking bang her. She looked like Ronald McDonald.
Who's Ice Spice?
Man, it's a light-skinned black girl with orange hair. That's everywhere I look for some reason.
Was she part of fucking the fucking?
No. I don't know what she is, but she's like mega popular. And signing deals left, right, and center. Like that. Like the new idea of like what a celebrity is a corporation on themselves.
So owning a basketball team
and a NASCAR team.
Who cares? So Michael Jordan owning a basketball team? Well, he's a basketball player.
Yeah, but that's like a transition in life. I was a basketball player. Now I'm an owner, part owner.
What Basement's talking about is completely different.
He's talking about The Rock with his energy.
It's talking about like one person becoming a mega corporation as a person.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is like the height of fucking consumerism. It's like the worst fucking thing I could think of.
Correct.
And I just hate that level of celebrity because it's like it's 100% now not about the craft of anything because you don't give a shit. Literally, you can't be involved in 5 things that are mega corporations and care.
I was about to say on top of that, there's a fundamental difference between like being a spokesperson for the brand versus
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa right now is investing heavily in 2 different companies. It's a friend of his that made a new vodka tequila that's coming out. He's only investing in it and helping advertise it. He's not part the head of the corporation. He is a spokesperson and the investor for it, and he is also the one that is behind Balls, the aluminum reusable party solo cups.
Yep.
He's an investor with them. He's not the face of the company. He didn't own.
See, I get the like investment is something that everybody can do and should do. Being the face of a company because you're a celebrity, that kind of works. It's the fucking Ryan Reynolds is a perfect example. Just like The Rock, they're the exact same. Yes. I'm in movies and I act, and I also own fucking Aviation Gin, and I also own Wrexham, and I'm trying to buy the Ottawa Senators. You are one person, like you're a company now, and I can't like watch a movie and I can't remove myself from that. It's just like if he ever has to act in a serious role where I have to take him not as Deadpool but someone else, I'll be like, I can't do it because this fucking guy does everything under the sun. I can't.
Before he became really huge, he actually did a role where he was serious, and I can't remember the name of the movie. He was a parent to a kid, and he was it was kind of like How I Met Your Mother kind of fucking thing.
I think it's like I think I know what you're talking about with him.
Before he became a really huge fucking Deadpool.
I just don't like the jack of all trades, new age celebrity, and master of none. Because they're not good at their original craft yet they're huge. The Rock is a shitty actor, yet he fucking controls everything.
Right? Rock can eat my ass.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Speaking of having your hands in everything and ass eating, how about these controversial commercials which for Miller Lite and Adidas?
You gotta fucking love it. They won't stop. Bud Light won't stop either.
I just don't understand. Like Bud Light, the whole controversy happened with Bud Light, right?
Yep.
No, they're saying, they're losing a bunch of money and stuff. The next thing that comes out is the exact same from every other fucking company out there. Like, why?
Well, Basement put that commercial in there. The one with the fucking trans. Look, if you want to be transgender, I'm all dressed up and ready to go. You know how I like.
That's a clip.
Oh my god. Nobody cares.
Did you not really look at that video in the chat?
No. Yeah, I did. I watched the whole thing. Oh, this guy's my favorite.
Not that.
This guy's my favorite.
The one about the transgender saying she was all dressed up and ready to go Friday night. You didn't realize that was Biden's face, did you?
No, because it all melds together.
No, Miller came up with an ad that was like, it's not transgender stuff. It's like a women drinking beer ad. But it's not just drinking beer. It's the way that they're like, there's a way to do things where they're like, women have been involved in the beer making process forever. You know that they're giving some like historical facts about women making beer or being part of the beer making process from back in the day. But then they decide to be like, and you know what that got us? Women in bikinis on pictures.
So, stop. So right there, I say, ask those women how they felt about making millions and millions and millions of dollars off of that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Pamela Anderson was a Budweiser fucking model. Look at her. Look at how much fucking that woman never had to fucking. That woman never had to do anything else for the rest of her fucking life.
Except
anybody that fucking bitches about any fucking female, especially those that modeled for that bitch about it, need to be fucking taken out back and hit in the head with a fucking shovel. Because they are fucking morons. They are hypocrites.
Well, I mean, the biggest hypocrite is the company that's calling out what they did.
Itself. Yeah, I was about to say, like, what?
They're calling out their own bullshit. Like, it's not even bullshit. It made them millions of dollars. Why are you complaining about that? Why would somebody complain about? Why would Miller Lite complain about fucking millions of dollars?
Can I just say that now it just makes me want to see a world full of commercials and advertisements for companies' own stuff. Just them like revealing like, hey, these are the terrible things we did to kind of self-woke themselves, and they're still fucking trying to pull off the commercial.
You want to know what some of the best beer commercials were? Go back to the 1980s and watch the Miller Lite commercials. Tastes great, less filling. The Bob Uecker commercials. I'm sitting in the front row, and then he ends up sitting in the fucking upper deck. That fucking makes the Milwaukee Brewers millions of dollars a fucking year. That fucking guy makes millions of dollars, and it's off of them fucking commercials. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch it.
I know what you're talking about.
It had nothing. There was no sexism. There was no. It was, here, drink this beer. It tastes great or it's less filling. And that was the argument. It was funny because they would have people standing there. It tastes great. No, it's less filling. No, it tastes great. No, it's less filling. Those were great commercials.
We're in a day and age of
the fucking 90s, and we get the bullfrogs, bud. Wise.
Those were good commercials.
I just like. I mean, the thing is, they want to go back to fucking an era where, like, yes, sex sells. Everybody knows this. You're still doing it to this day, and yet you want to like fucking hyper focus on the past.
I was just about to say we're in a day and age of overanalyzing on both sides of it, both the consumer as well as the advertising agencies, and it's just like it just becomes a fucking train wreck, and it's just like.
I honestly don't think the consumers are overanalyzing. The consumer, consume the beverage, don't care.
Am I gonna drink a beer because I knew back in 1930s women brewed beer? Like, but they have like a campaign to be like, send us your old. They say, send us your old shit so we can make new shit that is more representative of today's time. And when they say old shit, it's a bunch of fucking like bikini models holding Miller Lite cans. It's like you made your foundation is built on the thing you hate the most. So you know what you do when that is what happened? You shut the fuck up and move on. Like you don't sit there and fucking get a soapbox and be like, you know what, we're different now. Send us the things that we did terrible in the past and made boatloads of money off of. We won't talk about that. Send us that. Like fucking garbage shit.
Victoria's Secret, because they sit there, we've changed. Yeah, you have not changed a fucking bit, because a woman like me cannot walk into Victoria's Secret and find a bra in my fucking size. So you can shut the fuck up, old man in Ohio.
I feel like the problem with
I would love for her to walk into Victoria's Secret. I'll sit in the fucking goddamn changing room with her.
You won't have to, because they only go up as high as a fucking 36. I need at least a 42.
I don't give a shit. Because I don't care what you're wearing. I want to know what's underneath.
You already know what's underneath.
I know, that's my point. I don't care what you're wearing. It's coming off in a minute.
This is the problem though with like modern day advertisement, because there's still like sects, SECTS, of the entertainment industry that will fucking throw out sex sells constantly, and it's not spoken about because it's not heaving breasts and fucking fitness models or whatever. But then there's these people that were just like, okay, Adidas, which is this fucking guy with the bulge in his pants, that came out and they're like, hey, it's our summer swimwear shit. and they get a man in a bikini to advertise it. You know what happened? A huge backlash from women saying we can't even advertise our own clothes now. Which I just like. Who is this for? The 0.0001% of population is going to be a man in a bikini.
That's what this guy. That's what this guy in this.
Yeah, this is the Adidas showcase for their swimwear advertisement for the summer. A man in a bikini.
So hard for women's rights, and now this whole fucking trans thing comes along, and now men are now trying to erase.
Well, this is just a man in a bikini. It's not even trans. It's just a man in a bikini.
So it's
Transformers.
It's a man in a one piece, and if he wants to, he looks like an idiot.
But it's like you're advertising swimwear for women with a man in the swimwear.
It makes no okay.
My point of overanalyzing.
Yes.
Well, they do this like it's the on purpose. Like this should be a disaster for advertisement for who you're advertising to. I'm not going to advertise video games to a 90-year-old blind man. Like it doesn't make fucking sense. That's not your target audience, right? You want to advertise swimwear. First of all, sex
cost to make braille dots that long.
Sex sells, so you always they get attractive fucking people.
Said that sex sells, and people that sit there and say, "Well, we need to go away from that," I guarantee you will lose billions of dollars.
And every one of your advertisements will be incredibly forgettable.
If you take away, so again. When you're selling beer or you're selling liquor,
or clothing,
it's either sex or sports. Nobody gives a
or like camaraderie, like friendship or something.
Yeah. Those three things, nobody gives a shit if you're fucking transgender. Don't care, nada. You're selling sports. You look at. It drives me fucking nuts.
I got a dick bill. Yeah, that's nice. Want a bud? Yeah. Cheers. Da-da-da-da-da.
Penis pay?
Penis play?
Right? It is just so fucking. It's mind-numbing how these fucking people think today.
Pig Bean is here with the penis play, brought to you by Bud Light.
The problem is like actual advertising as a job, a profession. You are supposed to go with the biggest demographic for selling your shit. You're not supposed to go out there and fucking virtue signal to like woke media that this is the new us. Because how many fucking people out there that don't like fucking bikini clad women and are women beer drinkers, like that's your market for that ad.
If you are 18 to 35, which I think is the demographic,
kill yourself,
that they're trying to sell to, and you're more worried about whether or not a man is wearing a bikini.
Uh-huh.
If that's what you want, then that's fine.
You know, advertising's not hard. Get a woman scantily clad, walk down the street, see who looks at her. Do the same thing with someone that is fully clothed and 7,000 pounds.
If you're getting ready to watch the Super Bowl, I don't think I'm going to fucking watch a commercial where a guy is walking around in a fucking swimsuit trying to fucking get everybody to drink a beer.
Yeah, it's a huge, it's a disconnect, and I can't like this is putting like someone's like, you know what, this is what the world needs over this is what the world wants.
I don't know why I just pictured JP watching that commercial with the guy in the bikini, like drink whatever the fuck it was, or drink Miller Lite, and then it cuts to JP in his couch wearing the exact same bikini, drinking it. Who the fuck's this clown?
He's watching TV, and that fucking new ad for Bud Light comes on. We're Americans. This is our horse. Let me tell you the story about a beer. And then it looks over at JP. He's in fucking high heels and a bikini. This is not for me.
Recliner with the feet up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
With my hands in the side going, what?
Oh my god. Fucking great.
No, it's just like I don't care about who is wearing a fucking suit. If you don't, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I'm buying your beer, you better have boobs and it better be heaving fucking that's why I drink.
It's not fucking rocket science. Who drinks beer? It's mostly fucking young 18-year-olds to fucking 60-year-old, and it's probably 80% men.
Yes.
So you're not really gonna get that demographic to buy your beer by talking shit about like the bikini-clad models. It's just not. I'm sorry, and it's blue-collar workers more often than not that are drinking beer. Like it's against the demographic. I just don't understand the advertising plan.
I guarantee you, I could work for advertising in a beer company.
Oh man, no, because you're too smart.
I know.
Well, every one of us here will never ever make millions of dollars in advertising because we know how to fucking think.
No, you got to go in there and be like,
fives is 100.
I'm gonna work for Ray and Nephews. Just show fucking slammed.
Please show you how to fucking 63.
It works.
Man in a fucking onesie, fucking swimsuit, fucking sells fucking anything. You're a fucking moron.
Well, it's like Basement just said. They got a lot of backlash because you know what? Women are starting to get erased from sports. Now we're getting erased from advertising.
The whole hashtag Me Too thing is where this fucking started. Now the hashtag Me Too is what about us? It's hashtag what about us? Because women are getting fucking canceled now.
It's hashtag me as well. All right, fuck it.
It's stupid.
A2
Like,
Miller Lite. A2. Switching gears for a second because I have no other way to fucking transition out of that one. FNAF movie trailer popped up.
I don't see anything like fucking Wally's World, and the main guy in it does not speak an actual fucking word. I'm all for it.
No,
Well, that's not going to be the case. I saw the trailer.
I want this movie to be an hour and a half of a guy sitting in a room opening and closing fucking doors.
That's pretty much what you're gonna get, I think.
That's actually pretty funny.
Okay. I have never played the games, but I saw Connor play them, and I know enough about the games to kind of say,
Hey,
if you're
nothing beats JP playing them.
If you're a huge fan of the game, you're probably hyped for this movie. If you're anybody else, this movie looks like dog shit.
I will watch it. I will watch
Wally's World look like dog shit, but
but this looks like special dog shit. I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh man, this looks real bad.
Since everyone's done one, so here's the thing.
Oh god, I gotta do it.
Yep. Since we each got one now. This movie has been on the back burner for I think it's been 2 years. There have been plans to make a FNAF movie or some sort of pre-production limbo for a long ass times. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's been a while. So there was rumblings that there was a Twitter announcement, I think, from was it Blum? I don't even know the name of the production company.
Yeah.
Blumhouse, that was it. That said Blumberg, I don't fucking know. October time frame or whatever, and they had no idea, and nothing had been released, nothing had come out, and then finally they dropped the goddamn trailer, and it's like, oh, they're actually gonna do this. I'm with you guys, and it looks kind of it's clearly gonna be mega fan service, so it's
it'll make money. Don't get me wrong.
For sure, yeah.
But it looks like a very terrible movie.
I will say this. I seen all of Friday the 13th when I was 7 years old, 8 years old. I've seen Jaws when I was 4, and I did not jump. This game made me jump.
Oh, I know. Sasquatch looking bitch.
It's definitely like a jump scare game, and the movie will be jump scare central.
It didn't scare me. It startled me. But
oh, okay. Glad we cleared that up.
I don't scare. It startled.
Me too.
What just happened?
No, the movie. The thing is, the movie looks authentic to the game, but it's just I don't think it's a concept, if you're going to be super authentic, that would it be wrong to say very well.
It looks like a Hallmark version of
I think in the end, fucking Willy's Wonderland is probably going to be a better movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was about to say I agree with you on that one.
I think they did about probably again.
Also, they've got fucking PETA as the main character. I hope he turns into a fucking rock in this movie.
PETA. So I think it's gonna do some very, very high numbers. I think kids are gonna go fucking ape shit over it. I hope this does not start a chain of movies. I really fucking
It
hope
will,
not.
because you know why? It's
hope
coming out in
not.
October, and it's probably going to be TV PG-14.
Well,
So a
here's
bunch
the
of
weird-
fucking.
Here's the weird part. It's coming out in theaters and Peacock the same night.
Yeah.
When is it?
That's a weird. Okay, that's a weird choice because I think it actually could do pretty good in theaters.
The 27th, so it's the Friday before Halloween.
It'll do good both on both platforms because I think like it is a movie. If you're a fan of it, you'd go to the theaters to see.
Yeah.
Dummy movie watch night.
It looks like shit, but we'll get high and watch together.
It'll be
Love it.
So we'll watch it for free, and we don't have to be angry about that.
I personally would not spend $20 to go see this movie.
No, but neither would I. But I like again, I'm not a fan of the source material, and the actual Five Nights at Freddy's is like a huge component of like people, 5-10 years like younger than us. The people that grew up with it, that was like when it blew up.
It'd be 20 years younger than
But
me.
you know, it's a lot of the people that watched a lot of those gaming YouTube streamers in the heyday of that.
Markiplier.
Yeah, and PewDiePie, those guys that like made it huge.
Yeah.
And I looked at the video, and underneath every comment, Markiplier better be in this movie. It's like, okay.
I think he is.
I hope he's Freddy. The movie ends,
God.
he takes off the helmet, and he's like, shoots himself in the head.
He
I am the king.
pretty good. I enjoy watching his content.
Yeah.
He takes off his fucking hat, and he starts playing Subnautica or something. Back to the grind.
I don't know. I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. I won't. I have zero expectations. Let's just say that.
That's the best way to go into these kinds
You
of
know
movies.
what?
We had
I
zero
have-
expectation for Wally's World.
Or Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
I think Cocaine Bear is going to be a
Wally's
better
World
movie than
was
this. And same with. I
Oh,
think they're
yeah,
both going
yeah.
to be better than this.
Hey, so someone asked me like, "Oh, what'd you think of Cocaine Bear?" And I said, "It's exactly as advertised."
Yeah,
you are
pretty
not,
much.
you are not. They do not skip out on that. Another horrible segue because this is a downer of a subject. Obviously, all of us wrestling fans lost a superstar legend in Superstar Billy Graham. Last week. Was it last week? A couple days ago?
This just recently this week, like Wednesday, I think.
Yep. Yeah. He had been battling a lot of health issues for a while. I knew his liver was like shot to shit.
He had a transplant.
And he outlived the expectancy for the transplant. So you know what? God bless.
He passed away at 79. I'm looking up the official like cause of death. He was hospitalized in January 23 with a result of an ear and skull infection. By April, his condition worsened and lost 80 pounds of being treated for kidney, heart, and lung issues. He technically died of sepsis and multiple organ failure on May 17th, 16 days short of his 80th birthday, having been placed on life support earlier that week. Yeah, he had health issues. Of course, he got hepatitis C from a liver transplant in 2002. In July 2010, he was hospitalized due to more liver problems. January 2013, pneumonia and heart failure. August 2016, hospitalized while undergoing a medical procedure due to internal bleeding. I mean, he's made it very public that he's known that like most of these, if not all of these issues, were related to his like heavy steroid abuse, and he was no stranger to that. So I'm, truth be told, I'm surprised he lived as long as he did, given all the shit that he went through. Because I remember watching his documentary when it came out. I think it was like in like 06 or 07. And he was talking about how he had health problems then, and this is going on 20 years after that, and it's like Jesus.
The Amy biography that they did for all of the villains.
Yep.
He was in that as well, and even in that, he's like, I was told I had 5 years to live with my new liver, and here I am 10 years later.
Fucking insane. Of course,
yeah, I mean, he lived to 79 after like doing that with his body. I mean, you can look at him in this gift. Like he was Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan, but like the sheer amount of fucking jackness, he's abusing, using and
What
abusing.
what did you just say?
Me?
No, basement.
I said he was Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you just took what I was going to say. Fuck you, dickhead.
Just go with it.
I caught him at the very end of his career.
I only saw him with the Hulk Hogan beard. I never really saw any of his career.
Oh, you missed out.
I'm telling you.
I've seen snippets after looking all this shit up.
When you say he was Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan, I can tell you right now, if Vince McMahon, the Vince we know today, Hulk Hogan may not. It probably would have been him and Hulk Hogan, every fucking WrestleMania. That's how big he
Superstar was.
So so they did a documentary with him, and there are 3 matches that he had with Dusty Rhodes. I found 2 of them, and I have to watch them. I would like to see the third. I don't know which 2 they are, but they apparently had 3 of the
best matches.
Not 3 of the best matches in WWE history, but they had like.
Honestly, he moved better than fucking Hulk Hogan. I can tell you that.
It's when WWF was still a part of the NWA.
Because
the territories.
They brought Dusty in to face Superstar Billy Graham, who was the WWF champion at the time. And I'm telling you,
I've seen all 3, and specifically the bull rope match, which was their blow off, was fucking for something in the 70s. That was and so this is back to the
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. So, if you haven't seen Superstar Billy Graham stuff and his peak stuff, especially in the AWA and the early WWF or WWF, like we were just talking about, you're missing out. And yeah, Basement said it best. He was Hogan before Hogan. He was
what WWE was about to become.
Yeah.
He's actually I think from what I've seen of him, he's a better wrestler than fucking Hulk Hogan. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. He was the epitome, or not the epitome, but he was the catalyst launch of creating a charismatic persona in professional wrestling. Not that you didn't have them before, like with Flair and Dusty, but not to the level that like you had. Like Billy Graham was one of the first ones that came out with like flamboyant tie-dye colors and came out with the slick lingo where he would like, kind of like Muhammad Ali, like there's more rainbow colors on me than the rainbow in the sky, daddy. I am the reflection of perfection, the number one selection, all that fun jazz. And
he could talk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He would. We sit here and talk about The Rock. We sit here and we talk about
shit on The Rock.
This guy, like he would rhyme and he would throw shit together, but he did it in the style that was the time. But he was ahead of his time, if that makes sense. He was doing shit that you would see. If I guarantee you, his stuff would be over today.
If you know how, and maybe Basement, you might relate to this more in terms of this. You know how like ECW did a lot of fast-paced, aggressive style wrestling, and then all of a sudden it like boom exploded onto like the WWF Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was doing that shit.
That's kind of the influence that Billy Graham had, as far as like you have now. With the exception of Bruno, there really wasn't anybody who was like a quote unquote larger than life figure in wrestling, in the sense of like, Bruno was kind of the exception because you'd have, people would go see Bruno and blah, 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 blah. And then like the undercard was just like, oh, who gives a shit?
Kind of like wrestling today.
It's close. Graham Graham was an attraction. So he became like I said, like like almost like a larger than life like movie star in a lot of ways, where like you went to see Billy Graham. It didn't matter if Graham was the champion or fighting for the title or whatnot.
Or he was a baby face.
It did not matter. You would and that was kind of like the beginning of characterizations and character profiles for these, like you get invested in these in wrestlers personas. He may not have been the first, but he was certainly a major pillar in starting that movement across wrestling across the country.
I just want everybody to imagine if Vince Jr. didn't buy the company from Vince Sr. Vince Sr.'s idea of champion was Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Bob Backlund was a bad in-ring performer. He could wrestle, but if you remember Bob Backlund, he was very vanilla.
Yeah, he didn't really see. I don't think he saw beyond what he created.
Imagine Vince Sr. being in charge. Everybody shits on Vince for his stuff. Superstar Billy Graham lost the title Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund held the title for 7 fucking years after that.
Yeah.
What I don't agree on is like
no, not out of spite, but it was
Vince Sr.
That's what Vince Sr. wanted.
You want to shit on Vince McMahon? I don't accept it because he pretty much made the product you're in love with today. So if you want to shit on him, then you shit on the existence of what modern day pro wrestling is, because he took it from what would essentially be like an extension of backyard wrestling. Like he took it to like
Vince said. And I know that they had a falling out for a little bit of time because of the whole steroid thing, because he's the one, Superstar Billy Graham is the one that said that Vince, this, that, and the other thing. Because he was broke and he was trying to, make a comeback. He was trying to make money. He didn't have any money. So he just said, fuck it, I'm going to fucking throw Vince under the bus. And they had a falling out, but Vince did say, if I would have been in control of the company, it probably would have been. Could you imagine Superstar Billy Graham and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 1?
Well, Billy Graham was the one who beat Bruno.
Correct.
I don't even know if that would. I don't know if Hulk Hogan would actually be Hulk Hogan with this guy.
He wouldn't.
But I think he would. But could you imagine WrestleMania? I don't think. Roddy Piper probably would have been there.
Macho Man.
But could you imagine? I think WrestleMania 2 would have been a perfect, because Superstar Billy Graham.
Well, that was about the time that Billy Graham was starting to reinvent himself for the worst, unfortunately.
I'm just saying, man.
No, I get where you're coming from.
Only imagine the kid that wanted to be like Superstar, the story that they could tell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, it's like with wrestling, there's so many like things I look at. I'm like, oh man, what could have happened instead of what did happen? And you can't like really hate on what happened, but it's like, man, it'd be interesting to see an alternate fucking version of history with wrestling.
Now, a little off base, and Eric Bischoff said it best when he said, "I'm glad it turned out the way it did." Because imagine if WCW beat WWE and WWE went out of business. Mm-hmm. Where would wrestling be today?
Ugh.
We'd probably have AEW, and that's it.
So Graham's not without controversy, because there is a couple of controversial moments in his lifetime, of course, as we mentioned before. He talked about like the steroid trial. He also went on to public bashing of the company in '92. He basically claimed that WWF officials sexually abused children. probably referring to Pat Patterson. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2004, but he then sold his Hall of Fame ring on eBay to pay for medical bills and requested that he be entirely removed from the Hall of Fame after Abdullah the Butcher was inducted, complaining that Abdullah would never wrestle in the promotion. He also spoke very vehemently against Linda McMahon when she was running for her Senate campaign race in 2010. And I didn't even know this one until just now. In July 2015, Graham sent a letter to Vince requesting to take the position of Dusty Rhodes, who had recently died over at NXT.
Yeah, I did hear about that one.
Oof.
However, he mended those bridges.
Yeah.
The thing about Superstar Billy Graham, for everything that he did wrong, he did much good. And he did reconcile and mended those bridges. If you have not watched it, and it is on Peacock, it's 20 Years Too Soon, the Superstar Billy Graham story.
It's good stuff. I really recommend it.
Very good stuff. And he will tell you, and Dusty Rhodes will tell you, everybody says that Ric Flair is Dusty Rhodes' greatest opponent. Dusty Rhodes will tell you his greatest opponent was Superstar Billy Graham, and vice versa. Superstar Billy Graham was probably one of the characters that I got behind the most as a kid because of his charisma and his flamboyance, so much as he was colorful. I'm a colors guy.
Yep.
He must
Know
have
what I
loved the
mean?
Ultimate Warrior.
I love the Ultimate Warrior as a kid. The guy couldn't wrestle one fucking lick, but goddamn.
But as a kid, like, I mean, that's what attracts people, like colors and presentation, right? Which would, like, they did with Hulk Hogan with the yellow and red. Everybody was like dressed up in very catching fucking uniforms.
Ric Flair, and fucking Chris Jericho made a statement about, Hulk Hogan is a better in-ring performer than Ric Flair. I'm like, what kind of fucking
Chris
crack
Jericho, I think, is one, like, I don't know, like his like final run in wrestling is like made me sour on the man real massively.
I think he's burning bridges on purpose because he thinks he's going to get into. I don't think WWE's going to put him in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I don't think
not yet.
Bridges.
I don't think I care too much about the Hall of Fame, but like the things that he comes out and says is like he's been proven wrong and wrong again. Oh, AEW is going to do this, AEW is going to do that, and also like he's like a nitpicker at like
when
some sort of yeah. The thing is that I find, like, as a wrestler and as his career, I really liked him. It's just like some of the things, like, after, it's kind of like the Bret Hart effect is happening with him, where it's like
actually,
he's
that's
like
that
like don't watch AEW. But anyway, but Superstar Billy Graham, I grew up watching. Right around that time he was getting ready to transition. I've always known him. Jesse the Body Ventura emulated him.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you were gonna take anybody who, like, I mean, Hogan and Savage were a clear influence, but fuck, I mean, Jesse was like that. You talk about a clone, Jesus.
Right.
Real last little tidbit I want to mention with him is that his services will actually be live streamed through his local parish next Thursday, the 1st.
And Vince said this, and I do want to point this out in the 20 Years Too Soon thing, where he's how Vince feels about fucking religion. If you haven't, he doesn't care.
When he's spitting the holy water.
Superstar Billy Graham found God, and Vince. This is one of the few times Vince said, "I can truly believe that he did." That's the impact that this man had.
Yeah.
We talk about our Mount Rushmores of wrestling, and I always overlook this guy, but you can't. Because, as again, like Basement said, he was Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan became Hulk Hogan. In fact, I will go so far as to say that Vince McMahon said, we are going to take superstar Billy Graham and we're going to turn Hulk Hogan into that. To the effect where we're not really going to make him superstar Billy Graham, but we're going to do something like that. And I guarantee it's going to work. And look at what wrestling has become.
Brother.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got on the list? My internet's slow. Fuck.
That's okay. I've got you. So along the lines of the other fucking topics that we had with Adidas and with Miller, we've got the soap company Dove coming out with a video game ad that has nothing to do with their products. Literally.
What?
Nothing to do with their products. It showcases a female hero fighting in a video game. And then it shows her go behind the scenes of the video game in like the green room or whatever you want to call it, and she takes off her uniform and it's like revealing that she's a lot bigger than she portrays, and she like looks at herself in the mirror and takes off her makeup and she looks.
I'm watching it now.
Like it's not. It has nothing to do with Dove.
Watch this. And I will say this. What I actually, you look at Heather. All right. I love my wife. I do. She's not fat. And this woman, I liken it to this. If you're playing a video game, if you're gonna bitch about this, then make it when that motherfucker starts running, she takes 5 steps, stops because she can't fucking run anymore because she's out of breath.
Well, my problem with this isn't it really has to. This is like the most fucking basic version of like signaling to the woke crowd that we're part of this too, and the reason is. Dove has nothing to do with fucking any of this shit. It's like fucking, I'm going to have a Michelin tire fucking ad, and I'm going to have halfway through the ad, he's like, oh man, I should change my tires. And then he turns around and his like fucking dad falls over. And then the rest of the ad is him like taking care of his dad in the hospital. Remember to buy Michelin tires. Like what? It doesn't mean fucking shit. This is like they're trying to fight for like the idea of like representation of like everybody's body type because they are like okay in the body industry loosely because they make soap. I'm not like okay. It's such a
head
fucking
tilting for sure.
Yeah, it's not like I don't think it's a bad message or anything. I just think it doesn't deserve to exist where it's happening. And like I mean, just like the entertainment industry, the video game industry is the same. If you want to do like if you want to have like the idea is escapism, and I said this to you guys on Twitter DMs. It's like you're trying entertainment. Whether it be video games or movies or anything like that, I'm not trying to put myself there. I'm trying to like have an avatar, or I'm trying to be part of a world that I know is not mine. I don't need to be me there, and that's the wonder of it. Like if honest to God, if we had like Ready Player One shit, and everybody got the ability to create their character and be with something, nobody would look the way they looked. Exactly. Because nobody wants to live in a fantasy world being themselves. They already live in this world being themselves. So like the idea that and they come up with this stat, 80% of girls don't feel represented. They don't need to feel represented. It's not a place for representation. It's a place for escape. It's a place for fantasy. Yeah. You can pinpoint and you can nitpick about like the sex sells in video games. But that goes for the entire entertainment industry, and like the way that it works, you might as well just shut the fuck up because you can't have your fucking cake and eat it too with that shit. So just accept what it is. It's not like everybody's being. It's not like women are being treated worse than men in the gaming industry. Most of the women are like fucking fitness models with massive breasts, and most of the men are fitness models.
Yeah.
So like, most of the time, yeah. So like like who is this? Like first of all, you're not in a place to speak. because you make soap. Second of all, this has been it's tired. You can make a game with a fucking like realistic body model. Fine. If the game's good, people will play it. If it's not, nobody gives a shit. It's not about the fucking representation.
No, it's not, and that's again, if I wanted to get a character that is overweight and play with it, there better be a reason why I'm playing with that character. It better have a purpose. I'm not gonna fucking play a goddamn game where I gotta run around a fucking world and fucking destroy things bigger than myself.
As almost 400 pounds.
Weighing almost 400 pounds, and I got a big chubby cheeks. Like, I don't care. Personally, I don't care if I'm fucking 102 pounds fucking running around with big floppy tits. I don't care.
Not to mention, let's look at the games that have been most popular in the last 20 years. You have Halo, Call of Duty, fucking Destiny. What are some other ones that have been really popular?
Fortnite.
You've got The Witcher. The Witcher has both women that are super hot and the fucking main character that's ripped to shreds.
But these are all scenarios where there's scarce food, or they're part of a military, or they're part of a fighting force.
And if you're in the military, you can't be 300 fucking pounds. And some frumpy fucktard. Sorry.
It's just like it's the idea of representation is more important than storytelling, and it's more important than what is at the soul of that genre of entertainment. I played a fucking game as a bandicoot, so like, did it need to be a person that looked like me? Like, whoever made this ad has no idea. They've never played a video game. The only game they've played is Fortnite, because that's how, or Overwatch, because that's what the art style is, and that's what it's like after. But Overwatch is like, fuck, you got like fucking big muscle women, you got big fucking people. It's just super
started playing
inclusive.
that today.
There's a literal fucking gorilla and a literal fucking robot you can play as in that game.
I just don't understand how gaming is the thing that they're going after. It's more acceptable now to go after film, but gaming, Dove.
It's a cheat.
Fucking,
you know what you know what they're doing.
It's disgusting. Honestly, they
know
need
what
to
they're
shut the
doing.
fuck up and lose a bunch of money.
You're right.
That's just the way. Like this is it's such a far reach from like what they're actually selling that I don't understand why they even tried.
What were you gonna say, Connor? What are they doing?
No, I said I know you know what they're doing. They're obviously reaching for any. They're reaching for the demographic they can hit the most in a wide spectrum. Yeah,
they're reaching for the demographic that thinks actually.
So they're reaching for about 10% of the American populace, because most other people will be like, "What the fuck is this? What's a Fortnite?"
Remember the overanalyzing thing I said earlier? Well, there you go.
But it's such a weird thing.
Fortnite is 14 days.
I know it's 2 weeks, but like but not the way it's spelled. Whatever, fucking don't care. The problem with this shit is it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's for nobody, and I get like every time I see this shit, I'm like, you actually have a job in advertising for a major corporation, and this is what you do. This is gonna sell soap to who? Women that go to work with fucking their body sucked in, and then decide, no, I've done enough, and now I have to go run around in a field with a sword. Good luck.
Don't we all have to run around the fields with a sword?
It makes no sense.
It doesn't. There's a couple
like
more things.
It's like watching a monkey fuck a football bat.
There's a couple
of
other things. I don't know what
it's like watching a monkey
fuck
a football bat.
All right. We have a couple things, but I mean, it's not really a story. But Robert Downey Jr. looks not great.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He looks like
Looks like a ball sack.
he looks like him and Joe Biden like
Had a baby.
melded together.
So this thing that I saw was a quick article about him going like all vegan. I mean, he's not a young man, so he will probably look old. But like the
He's a few years older than me. He's a few years older than me, I think.
But he dropped so much weight. The only thing I can think of, because Oppenheimer is set to come out in July.
Yep, I can't wait for that movie. By the way,
I can't either, honestly. I mean, at first I wasn't sure because they weren't really telling us much about what the movie was about, but finding out it's actually about the very first atom bomb.
Yep.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Because I didn't read into it. I just watched the teaser trailers. I'm hoping that he dropped all this weight because that's what he's going to look like at the end of the movie because of the
I
radiation.
think that's just what he looks like now.
He's 58. He's 58 years old.
Yeah, it's just the last time I saw him on film, he was Iron Man, and he did. Yeah, you could tell he was getting older, but it wasn't. It just doesn't look great.
He now looks like the grandpa from Little Miss Sunshine.
And I shared the picture of him on set at Oppenheimer. He still
he does. Holy shit, JP.
He still has strength to his body.
what?
That was actually a perfect pull.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
I totally missed that.
I interrupted her because I had a thought. Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
I showed you the pictures of him on the set of Oppenheimer, and he still had some strength to his body.
He still looks like the
now he's. I need Iron Man.
Yeah, I need Iron Man.
But he's not alone. Apparently, Jonah Hill is not looking good.
Vitamin C and vitamin D.
Jonah Hill looks like a homeless man addicted to meth.
Like a homeless man.
Jonah Hill is a homeless man. What are you talking about?
Well, here he is.
Jonah over the hill.
Yeah.
He looks like one of those creatures from fucking The Secret of Nim. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, the one thing that stands out to me, and I should have to Foulmouth Network, because there was a time where Kent was like, they went to like, he was talking about like fucking.
Jesus, I just saw the fucking Jonah Hill picture. Good lord.
He's talking about like people. He's talking.
Looks like Logan Paul took a shit.
He was talking about like paramedics that went to a call at a house, and it was Jonah Hill overdosed on coke or something. And I can like after he said that was like 2 years ago. After that, it's been like a steady turn into this. So I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Coke.
Oh, I mean that's probably all he's doing.
You know what? It looks like he came out of a fucking smoke store saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
He looks like a homeless man.
He does.
Good lord. But yeah, I mean that's the celebrity drama that nobody cares about. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was now this was gonna have some audio.
Behind him in the reflection.
This is not what was supposed to be there.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is gonna have audio, and hopefully you guys can hear it. I don't know. JP and Heather are disappearing. I can. Oh God, it's gonna be a pain. Let's share. What am I sharing here? Hold on. Let's share this.
Okay.
Just bear with me, bitch.
That's what you are.
I'm barren.
You can't have kids?
No.
Shut up. Me?
I'm just bearing with you.
Baron Corbin.
My name is Baron Corbin.
That was a spot on impression.
He can drink bourbon.
Hey, that motherfucker can cook.
He can cook up a fucking storm, man. Jesus Christ. He needs to have a cooking show when he's done wrestling.
He needs to do something with life.
Okay. This is going to have audio on it. I'm going to play it. And, and this is okay. So just a bit of information. This is a pastor going to this. I think it's the school council about a book that's being read to their kids. This book is for kids 10 years of age and older.
Okay.
This book here, it's called "It's Perfectly Normal." I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's
You can't hear it?
becomes
Hold on,
moist
that
and
might be me.
slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's
Can you hear it?
becomes erect, stiff, and
Now you can.
larger.
Pastor.
Sometimes a bit
hold
of
on.
clear
Pastor.
fluid that may contain
Pastor.
sperm comes
He's
out
just-
of the tip. This
I'll
book
just
here
go back
is
for you,
called
Connor.
It's Perfectly Normal. I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's becomes erect, stiff, and larger.
Pastor.
Sometimes a bit of clear
Pastor.
fluid that may contain
Pastor.
two sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes
Pastor.
it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? We have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs, but you don't want me to read it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
That makes two of us.
I will 100% agree with this fucking pastor.
Yes. If they don't want to hear it, why are they allowing it in their school libraries?
So this is the problem. This all goes back to that whole fucking bullshit that we've been talking about with transgenders being allowed to come into schools and do fucking whatever. Their fucking strippy shows or whatever the fuck it is, because that is a thing. And
Well, that's a bit different than like school stuff, but this is more along the terms of like acceptable reading in a school, and this, like, I looked up the book. It's like the biggest selling fucking book on Amazon. It's for 10 years and up, and it has visualizations of sex. It has visualizations of someone using a mirror to look at their vagina. It has visualizations of masturbation. And I'm not against the ideas of like teaching kids to an extent, but this is like, if that's coming from the book, that's the wording. If I had a 10-year-old, then that was what they were teaching them, and it like holds no bars for like
so
levels
my
of sex.
point is you've been hearing about how, hey, we need to teach our kids this, that, and you don't need to teach them this, that, and the other thing. Not when they're 10. When they're maybe 14, you explain to them, because I mean, I took sex ed, and that was thoroughly explained to me. Hey, this is what happens when you get an erect penis. This is what happens when you stick it in a vagina. I mean, that literally that's not literally all they talked about, but they didn't show us pictures of it. If this is the problem, this is what drives me nuts. This is what scares me about sending Wendy to school. I am afraid that I'm going to be, and my kid's going to come home. Hey, Dad, I learned how to masturbate today.
I mean, there's a hyper focus on like sexualization and gender politics for very young kids, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm all for like teaching health, and what health would include is like the changes in your body or getting an understanding. But they're teaching 10-year-olds about like full on intercourse.
Yes, should not be a thing.
Yeah.
That should not be a thing. You have to explain to them,
and
at
pretty
some point.
gratuitous too, with
It
like
should be
the
yes.
clitoris. It's like, okay, kid's not
But
gonna know what the fuck you're
that
talking about.
school board member that's stopping this pastor from saying this, he's 100% right. You don't like hearing it, then why in the fuck should a 10-year-old have to sit there and listen? You know what? A 10-year-old's gonna sit there and fucking giggle about it.
Yeah, I listened to this pastor and I was like, fucking, I'm not a religious man, but amen.
Yeah.
He's right.
And I'm gonna say this goes back further than just fucking transgenders. This goes back
it's just part of it.
This goes back to the show of 16 and fucking pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
can see
teen
that.
pregnancy. Those fucking shows is what's breeding this now. Because of the fact that on one of those shows, they had a 12-year-old fucking stand up and say that she was pregnant too.
The thing is, like, the earlier, like, to an extent, the earlier, there's two ideas, right? Two levels of thought. It's the earlier you explain something to someone, the earlier they know about it, the earlier they'll prevent it from happening. Then there's the earlier you explain something to someone, the more likely they're to try it and do it. And when it comes to really young kids, there is, I think, a argument to be had for kind of like gatekeeping some of that information until they get beyond it.
Yes.
Right. So my point was, it wasn't just about the transgender thing. As it all ties in. And this pastor is essentially saying, why are we teaching our 10-year-old
Well, this is a book that they can take from the library. And,
yes,
I mean, it could be a fucking 5-year-old that takes this from the library. God knows.
it should not be a thing.
And it had, like, I saw images of the book, and it's like fucking cartoon porn.
It's so bad that if you look on YouTube, there is literally a channel dedicated to Barbie getting pregnant, having a C-section, or giving birth naturally. His youngest niece fucking lives on that channel.
Does she?
Yes.
Well,
The neighbor next door, the girl next door, she knows about pregnancies.
Give me her number.
She's only 6, basement.
I mean, you said girl next door.
Yes, Wendy's
I mean,
friend.
woman next door.
No, I said girl, so that should
Shit,
put it in your
Yeah.
head.
But, you know, you hear
Next
girl
door.
next door, you don't necessarily think of kids.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? The little girl next door
Oh, God, give Connor her.
pretends to be pregnant. She
I heard that.
pretends to be pregnant and actually goes through the pains and labors of giving childbirth.
Kids don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Like, and this is what, like,
Wendy was doing it the other day.
yeah, the thing is, like, kids will, like, every now and then they'll be like, oh my God, my kid is fucking genius. And every now and then you'll be like, oh my God, I think I might have a retarded kid. Like, they don't necessarily know, like, they imitate really well, and that's how kids learn. This is why it's so kind of like, you really have to be particular with what you teach kids at a young age, because they're still within that imitation realm at 10 years old, and you might end up with fucking the kid fucking just banging someone at 10. No, you don't want that.
No.
I will applaud that fucking pastor for doing. Like Basement said, amen. I 100% agree with his sentiment, and that school board that sat there and fucking ridiculed him should all be. They should all
You
be
know what? I think that book is fine if you tag it for like 15, 16-year-olds, something like that. Like, you got to get a bit older. 10 is really young for that, and it obviously it's a book made today, so it's going to talk about like every single aspect of sexuality and gender and all that stuff. It's not just like a book talking about sex. It has everything else in it, and it's not a bad thing for someone's mind that's developed to handle it.
Their body is changing in a way that they can't control.
Yeah. Most of the time, honestly, with like young kids, when puberty hits, it's best to just like nature take its course and they learn. And if there's a question, they can ask their parents. I hate the idea of that book being available to 10-year-olds, but
I do too. It's
I
really
hate-
movie.
I hate the idea that it's in a school library.
yeah.
Yep.
And like a huge mega seller. But that's not all. We've got a couple more things, not too many more. This is one that I found fucking hilarious. I saw it on Twitter and then I looked into the story. I mean, it's not really hilarious because it's terrible, but fucking an elephant. So some woman like living in a village, I don't know where it was, like India or something, and she like went to collect water, and an elephant came out of nowhere and obliterated her, like just fucking killed her. And then they went and they let me finish. So they went to have a funeral for this woman later. I think it was later that day or the next day, and they had her all set up. And the same elephant came back and trampled her fucking corpse. And then the elephant signaled to the rest of the herd, and they trampled the village. Like, what did these people fucking do to you?
This woman do to this fucking herd of elephants?
This is just an elephant attacking random people. But this needs to be
your enthusiasm shit if I've ever heard it in my entire life.
This needs to be a fucking movie, man. From the elephant's point of view.
Better than a cocaine bear.
The elephant, whatever this woman did, it was so heinous that he wasn't okay with her. And in this story, it's like, it's fucked up because the elephant came into the village. He went exactly to the house that she was in, destroyed the house, killed all the goats, and then trampled her dead body.
But then the village, too. I mean, it just like.
And then the village got demolished.
Oh my god, so fucking great.
We need to find out what the fuck she did to this fucking elephant.
Oh shit.
Maybe it's with her now, trampled into the earth.
But
like, what a fucking great vengeful fucking elephant! Holy shit, man!
I'm Batman.
We never forget.
No,
like, to attack a dead body is fucking wild.
That is the.
She fucking sat there and beat the fuck out of this thing.
She had to have done something terrible to this fucking elephant. Probably killed the parents.
That is the. You talk about the fucking tagline for the movie, right?
we never forget. Elephant. If it was a shitty horror movie.
My God.
There's only one last thing really to talk about that, but that was a funny thing I watched. I saw it, I'm like, oh man, I gotta share this because this is fucking vengeance. I am vengeance. The other thing is the 3 meals a day makes you a white supremacist.
Oh yeah, I knew, but I mean, I knew this. I don't know about you. I don't know. You guys didn't know this.
So, like, the idea was that this was brought on upon colonialism, where they would make people eat 3. Okay, so the idea was that they would make people eat 3 meals a day, and it would stop them from what they should have been doing, which is grazing like the animals. And because animals graze, the white man that took over the country wanted everybody to eat 3 meals a day, which is so unbelievably wrong in the idea of eating 3 meals a day. And most people don't, first of all, eat 3 meals a day. I think it's a very like British thing, but I don't think it's from.
They don't even do it because they don't even have a proper breakfast over there.
I don't think it's from colonial times. Most of the times, having meals at a set time was for camaraderie and like a working fucking populace. So it's like, we can all eat separately, or we can all get together for an hour, eat and have fun, and then we can go back to the job. It's just fucking. Oh my God. It's like everything is fucking white supremacy, or everything is racist.
I'm not.
We eat 1 meal a day here.
But you eat 3 meals every 3 days, so getting close.
That it varies.
What I love though the most about this is I watched the video the first time and just shook my head, but I paused it, and this woman was reading a book about compulsory sex through the eyes of an asexual black man.
Beautiful. I'll follow this person to the ends of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what led the author of this book on that journey to go through fucking 3 meals a day and colonialism and connect it to compulsory sex. Fucking speak!
I hate to say this, he's black.
But does he eat 3 meals a day? Is
Thumbs
the
up.
question.
3 meals a day. This woman
He's a
literally
white
just
supremacist.
this woman literally just only read this book and did zero research behind any of it because Japan eats 3 meals a day.
welcome to the fucking real world where everybody just reads something and it's like, you know what? They're onto something. I am a retard.
I have a friend who read it on fucking Facebook that your blood is blue until it hits the air. So
No, that used to be a tale.
Your blood is not blue.
Exactly.
Yeah, it used to, because like when you look at veins, you see a certain color. Yeah, the idea was that like oxygen,
your veins are literally blue.
having blood oxidized changed the color of it. That was the idea, but it's not true at all. It was always false.
No.
But it was like it's one of those things that's like a widespread falsehood. However,
Blood is red because you have red blood cells.
no, octopi have blue blood. So
So of course your crabs.
there you go.
That's where we get ink from.
5 5s make 100.
25. 5 5s. If you carry the one, I'm fucked.
There are plenty of countries out there that have never been colonized.
Here's the
And they
thing.
all eat 3 meals a day. So I guess
that's
those
true.
are all white supremacists too, even though they're not
I
white.
think everybody's a white supremacist. I think
On
Big
the
E
inside.
in WWE 2K23 is a white supremacist. He's a fucking blackest man alive.
So
What's on the list now? We got waking up early, drinking coffee, eating 3 meals a day, having a job, owning a home, being able to buy meat. All of that is white supremacy.
You know what? You sound like a white supremacist.
no, well, hashtag fuck me.
If it quacks like a duck.
So look,
Mhm.
here's the
I'm
thing.
Mexican.
If it eats 3 meals like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Did you hear? So there was a thing. I don't know if are we done talking about the white supremacy?
I mean,
thing?
you could talk about it all you want.
Until you're blue in the face.
I don't.
See you white in the face.
It's not going to change anything. You know what? Don't care. So, China. Apparently, Jim Ross came out and said something to the effect. You remember when she left WWE, right?
Yes.
Why she left?
For the
Why
person
she
in
left?
place.
Why she left WWE? Well, there was 1 or 2 nights in China. So Jim Ross came out and said that she wanted to be paid as much as Stone Cold did.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. She actually wanted to be paid as much as Stone Cold because she thought, and everybody's like, oh, that's not true. Yes, it is. She wanted to be paid like Stone Cold because she is what I love China. I thought she was great for women's wrestling.
I felt like
great for women's wrestling.
I felt like China was good in a certain role, and I was fine with that role.
She was never ever a draw.
No.
She was she was like in the era, like she was a wonder of the world. That type of shit worked for her in that era. Yeah, it worked for her in that era. It's just like once you get beyond that, she was okay wrestler. Her presence meant more than her in-ring ability, and
but she was also still learning a lot from Triple H.
Yeah, like she was like a very good like manager for that group that could get involved with men or women. Right. But I mean, She's not putting anybody's fucking ass in that seat. There wasn't like this huge crowd. We want China. Yes, it
No.
would have happened, but they're there for other reasons.
The reason why those chants even started is we want to be in China is because DX had those signs.
They
Yeah.
did.
I mean, it was like a marketing genius that put them all together because it was
Exactly.
like this group that fought against authority, and she was like the anomaly that was like she was the muscle of the group as a woman. It's just a really good take on like having a woman manager that was that.
It was a different view of the woman manager, which was fucking great.
But the problem is that you get these people saying, well, she can't defend herself. Well, it's a known fact that that's why she left WWE over money. She wanted to be paid like Stone Cold. Somebody said you're burying her. I'm not burying her.
No, that was
I
the
am
person at the
telling
funeral.
you that it was a known fact. That's why she left WWE, because she wanted to be paid as much as Stone Cold did.
Maybe just go watch the A&E biography that they did on her.
And again, I love China, but she was nowhere near fucking making $1 million, or she was nowhere near what Stone Cold should make. So, but yeah, that and the reparations. Did you hear about that? Did you see some of that shit?
Yeah, you
Oh, yeah.
actually shared something that
the
was.
fucking one guy.
I gotta take a piss, but I can hear you.
Or something. I'm like, what? You need me to pay you $5 million for what? What the fuck did I do? I mean, you can go ahead and try to get it out of me, but it's not gonna fucking happen.
Luckily, right now it's only in California, so it's only their state taxes they gotta worry about.
It's like and it all falls back. The reparations, again, we've talked about this numerous times, but it's becoming a thing now. California is passing a law where apparently people are going to get $97,000 a year for the rest of their fucking life.
If they qualify.
If they have to qualify.
They have to qualify. They have to go into an ancestry test.
Ancestry test
slave
means fucking nothing to me. You need to show me proof and paperwork and documentation that which is not gonna fucking happen.
Well, then no one's gonna get anything then. Fuck it.
These people thinking that there was that video, that 10-second video, big hippos.
I feel like when it comes to reparations, it just doesn't make sense. There's no way, like, you gotta. The problem is the money's coming from somewhere. So you're telling me that. And the problem I have with it is it takes into like the idea is getting money for the hardships of your ancestors. Yeah. You can call it for slavery, but there is like every fucking person on this planet goes through hardships, and some to an extent on par, maybe even emotionally with slavery. Like, it's just, I don't get the idea of giving a generation so far removed from something. I'd be like, hey, it didn't happen that long ago. It was pretty long ago, and the population was pretty low. And even to your video's point, it's like, so you're going to get the people that purchase people and use them as slave laborers, but you're not going to hold the people that sold them accountable. Everything about reparations is very like, we're going to pick and choose who gets what. Because you track people back long enough, we were all slaves. Like,
just back far enough, we're all from Africa.
That Dr. Phil actually did an episode of this, and there was a black guy that got on there, and he said, "You really want to know who to blame for all this shit? It's the African tribes. They're the ones that
freaking kings.
They're the ones
that sold us to Britain.
That were sold you? They didn't sell you to Britain.
No, I'm saying as a quote.
They sold them to.
They didn't sell you to Britain.
He doesn't need to drink, so I was literally saying it as a quote.
But everybody fucking sold slaves back then. The fucking everybody, like every country.
It was an economy.
Exactly. It was part of the fucking. I'm not saying it was a good thing. But
No.
everything back then was fucking pretty cutthroat and bad. But like everybody fucking traded in like whatever they had, and it wasn't just fucking Africa. Fucking the Spaniards sold Spanish, the fucking English sold English. It was like if you're fucking low on the fucking ladder, you're being enslaved and sold to someone who's looking for you. It just so happens that the African slaves ended up in America, and yes, it's part of history. But you can't fix history by blindly giving money to people that didn't live it, first of all. And I know the idea is, well, they've suffered since then. Because of that time, they have, like, if anything, like that fucking video you sent said, if anything, everything has gotten better since then. So you're going to give them money for having a better situation. And I can tell you right now, with the way that Canada has worked with like the natives here in Canada, the native Indians, giving a large population money to do nothing is going to be the second coming of what happened with like assisted living housing with the U.S. and black population.
Yep.
It's gonna be fucking horrible. The black population will suffer for getting that money. That they
would sit there and do nothing but buy Gucci, Prada, fucking
no
Coach.
man. It's gonna like you're creating a monster, and they don't even see it.
You are. Anyway, you think the housing crisis is bad now? Wait until this shit happens.
Well, I mean, here we have the.
One of them motherfuckers will be buying a house, and
we have the problem is with like what you're doing is you're creating an out to not have like a goal system, not having like responsibility. If you just get $100,000 a year for doing nothing because the color of your skin, that is pretty fucking racist. First of all, and second of all, it's all it's gonna do is create people that don't give back to the community. I mean, the native community here. Yes, I'm gonna like blanket statement. I know it's not all of them, but like they're tax exempt and they do get like government handouts, so they literally have not progressed to the extent that you'd want them to. And I like as a whole, there's huge issues with that community with drug use, alcoholism, and pretty much everything else. And that's really what you're gonna see with giving $100,000 to every fucking black person in California.
Yep. Well, apparently Mercedes got hurt. Don't give a fuck.
Oh, again? She'll be in fucking Cabo taking pictures in about 17 hours.
Working.
I'm going to tell you right now, this was the start of her whole fucking thing with WWE. She would get hurt. She'd go away for a little while, come back, cry, I want a title.
This woman, I'm so sick of talking about her.
Is that why you brought it up?
It doesn't fucking matter anyway.
So,
look, do you know why she lost the title? Because the woman that everybody calls an icon is back. The icon of Japanese wrestling came back.
Mm.
She was only a
placeholder.
A placeholder. She was a paper fucking champion until she came back. That's what they thought of Mercedes Moné. I really could give two flying fucking.
I mean,
is that why you brought it? Is that why you brought it up?
I don't want to talk about her. In all honesty, I think we like ran her into the ground where she deserves to be. She's injured. Good. I don't care. And honestly, I really don't care. Nothing against her as a wrestler, or whatever. It's just I like the fandom for her is way bigger than it needs to be. Because she's just fucking below mid. So we do have one other thing to talk about, and this is something that I've seen. Rayshawn brought it up. There's these people in Britain or England or something, and they are just walking into people's houses. These TikTok for TikTok clout, they're walking into someone's house, sitting down like. I saw the video. I'm like, what? I would fucking beat the shit out of this kid. I'm sorry, but like, all it takes is you stepping foot in the wrong house and you are dead. And apparently, it's not just houses. They've been just getting up and
they're also getting into cars.
No, they're also walking up to fucking old people like they stole a woman's dog.
Yeah, I saw that. That is so fucked up because okay, I like my job. I work with a lot of people that are disabled and elderly. I don't work with them. I help them, and like there's people I've talked to that like have well, it's my service animal, but it's not. It's like it's just because they have nothing else,
Yeah,
right?
we've talked about that before. Yeah.
Like so, if you're gonna pick that fucking dog up and run away from someone that can't run, they slip, break a hip. You should go to jail for fucking life for this stupid shit.
Yeah.
I can't believe that like TikTok has a platform. Yeah, it spawns a lot of fucking shit, but so did Vine and so does YouTube. It's just the idea behind this is like
Make sure you subscribe to us, by the way.
if I was a police officer in the area, I'd be picking these kids up in no time.
We go from Tide Pod challenges to let's steal some woman's
At
dog.
least a fucking Tide Pod, you're killing yourself.
This is TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is.
Well, I'm sorry, TikTok. I can't get.
I also think it's a generational thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's anything
We
for
raised
fucking
entitled
likes.
teenagers to sit there and say, "Oh, well, I have this social media platform. I am an influencer.
Well,
I have such followers. Nobody can touch me."
Being an influencer is like the detriment to fucking young population
Right.
because when all you live for is people clicking on something to randomly fucking love it, likes, it's you're gonna fucking do stupid shit.
Yeah.
We make
I can't-
YouTube.
I can't have TikTok.
I don't want TikTok.
No, well, apparently it is becoming. It is like the army is disallowing it because it is Communist Chinese Party propaganda.
Well, they were in hot water for like how it's managed, and I saw some of that, like those.
Security threats that are
There's
in
no
everything.
there's no security.
There's
when
no
you're
checks and
using
balances
TikTok.
for it whatsoever.
None. The CEO couldn't answer a fucking question.
I mean, that being
There-
said, if somebody walked into your house and sat on your couch, I'm sorry, but I'm fucking getting a bat and I am beating them to death. I'm so surprised that like the video I saw, and I think I've seen 2 of them, where they just walk into someone. It's like fucking creepy because one, they walked in, the people didn't even know they were there, and they like turned the corner and they watch, and some guy is with his 2 kids, little kids, and he's like making food, and they just laugh and they run away. I'd be like, man, if I ever wanted to see someone fucked up, I don't want to see them dead, but like, you know,
Maim
not
them
far
for
away.
life. Maim them for fucking life.
Don't
I
walk
would-
into my
I
fucking
would
house,
Literally,
man.
if somebody literally came into my house and thought it was funny to just come in and fucking sit down, I'd be like,
They have no legs.
all right, motherfucker, you think this is funny? You should see what I'm about to do.
But
That's going to be fucking funny.
This isn't the only thing I saw. I saw this, and I saw like TikToks of people. It's people running up to people, and again, it's in England or Britain or something. They're running up to them and they're like yelling, "You want to die? You want to die?" And what they're really doing is about to show them a hair dye.
Yeah.
But that's how they run up to people, and like the videos I saw of it, it's like, man, most of these people run away from you or try to get away, and they're fucking shitting their pants because it's like, you know, they run up with face masks and hoods on doing this. I'm like, man, if you did this almost anywhere else, you'd be fucking obliterated.
If that happened anywhere here in America, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that person's carrying a piece, forget it. Those kids are getting their brains shot out.
Yeah. I saw a video of someone that like would go up to people in America with a gas canister filled with water and pour it on their cars as a TikTok prank. One guy pulled out a gun. He's like you were a second away from being killed, motherfucker.
Yeah, someone's gonna die. It's a matter of. It's not a matter of if. It's
No,
when.
it's real soon. And like I said, they'll deserve to be fucking shot. In all honesty, you walk into someone's house, you deserve to be fucking shot without permission. Vampire laws, bitch. You have to invite a vampire in.
Fucking people,
I was gonna
these
say that doesn't work.
kids. There are some funny things on TikTok. I will admit that.
Yeah,
Some people having fun, and I get that. But these kids that seem to think it is okay to fucking do this to people, just
to gain stardom.
like what?
It's called getting a real fucking job.
But like, the thing that pissed me off the most in that video is when like he went in there, and the wife's like James or whatever, and he was downstairs, and I think he was with a kid or something, and he came upstairs. I don't know what the guy said. But this guy continues to like not leave when he's told to leave. He walks into the living room and sits down and starts like selfieing himself. I'm like, I just start beating the shit out of him. Honestly, I'd start beating him to death, and that's that.
I would have called the police.
He's in my house. He's in my house. I didn't invite him, and he's sitting on my fucking couch. I'm grabbing the biggest thing next to me, and it's over.
I would have kneecapped him.
I would probably just start beating him to death. And it's a prank. I wouldn't stop. Don't enter my fucking space.
Fucking great.
Don't enter my space, man. Fuck that shit. I didn't invite you in.
I just love it's a prank. I wouldn't stop.
I wouldn't stop, and I wouldn't feel bad. In all honesty, it's like, don't do this ever.
And then you would be on fucking MSNBC. Mm-hmm. Oh, they were just having fun.
So was I.
Sorry, no.
Yeah.
I was It's like they walked into my house and I was just practicing my swing in the living room.
I get you. What?
And then he sat down.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
No, I would say like I was in the living room practicing my swing, and he sat down. And he was. Yeah. I didn't invite him in.
He happened to walk right in the path.
I was practicing my golf.
Here's the thing.
You actually swing a golf club from the
hip?
top down? No, you swing it from the hip. No, not this. Just go with it, man.
I was trying to improve my slice.
I was trying to improve my slice.
I just can't. Like that video angered me to my core.
It angers me. When they took that, when I seen that video, I'm like, I would like to get in a fucking plane, go find this guy, and just kneecap the fucking.
For me, I would be like the guy coming up from the basement being like, okay, you need to leave my house. When they didn't leave my house immediately and set down that's the end. That is where I would change.
You get one warning. You get one warning. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Or you are going to be missing your legs.
I think I could I'm a pretty nice person, so I would try to be like, you're not supposed to be here. Get the fuck out of here.
One chance.
But nope. After that, I'm this old man in the fucking video just blasting. So I started blasting.
But he was a 13-year-old kid.
Anyway, I was blasting.
But he was just a teenager, and he was in my house. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I told him to get the fuck out. He didn't listen. I taught him discipline.
Tell me he worked for the government. So anyway, I start blasting.
Oh, one thing's sure, he'll never do it again. Actually, he'll never do anything again.
Yeah, he's dead now.
He may be drinking through a tube.
Joke's on me, or is it him?
New TikTok trend: kill kids that enter your house.
Sweeping the nation.
Yeah.
Never forget. Elefante.
Just look at that one kid killed. He accidentally went to the wrong house to pick up his sister.
Yeah, this was an
accident. This shit? No, that's not an accident. I will disfigure you for life if you come in my house.
This is the fucked up thing because right on the tail end of all these people going to the wrong house in America and getting blasted, then you have this be the next TikTok trend in fucking England. It's like, okay, what? But I mean, who the fuck is someone knocks on your door, you're just gonna fucking open fire? That is wild, man.
That's a little different. I think that was an old man being scared. I remember that. That was a story, 2 months ago? Last month, maybe? The guy that kid come knocking on the door, and I think the guy was just.
Yeah, well,
scared.
it was that, but then the two cheerleaders or whatever were fucking obliterated too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
No, it was kind of the same vein. They like knocked on a door and just that's it.
Well, don't knock on the
Remember
door.
Nicky Nine Door? That's what we called it here.
No.
What?
What'd you guys call it?
I think
Where
it's
you'd
called
knock
Ding
on a door and run away?
Doorbell dash or ding dong dish?
Yeah.
Ding
Yeah.
Dong Ditch is
I don't know why it's called
Bulgarian.
Nicky Nine Door.
Yeah, that sounds a little
Well,
white
I mean,
supremacist.
it was called something, but we didn't call it that. We called it something else. I'm not going to say.
I'm
what
pretty sure it
is.
was super racist, judging from what
It
you're saying.
was.
Nation Generation probably about it.
I'll tell you right now, it was N-word knocking.
Oh yeah,
Nancy?
that is so fucking racist.
Nancy knocking?
Yes. We'll go with that.
God, cancel this man. He was a product of his generation. Good God,
Behold.
We didn't know any better. We would just get together. Hey, do you want to go do it? Sure. Why the fuck not?
And that's when we took out the paint.
And this is why I have to pay reparations.
Yep,
You
you just answered your own
specifically,
question.
yes.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin.
I ain't paying shit.
Everybody said it. Even he said it. He who? That one kid was not.
Even he, and he points to the wall.
He's like, let's
These,
go.
these are some different conversations we're having now.
No. The phrase of the night is not here's the thing. The phrase of the night is the kid that was not like the rest of us.
He was a black kid. And he said, "Hey, let's go in. We're knocking."
What a great way to end episode 69.
An episode you'll never see again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And we will see you in 6 months when the flag is lifted, folks.
I was about to say that or the fucking when
We'll
this
never
episode
see
gets
you.
canceled.
We'll never see you again.
You know what? You need to stop. Because
Hey, yeah, I was there. I'm still there. My fucking channel got canceled for bullshit.
you are getting canceled. If we get canceled, I apologize, but I don't think we are.
So only if we get canceled.
Yeah, only if we get canceled, he apologizes.
Cool.
Yep.
Otherwise, he don't
Make
give
sure
a-
I understood that correctly.
Look, I was a
Yeah.
kid. All right.
It's not that. It's just the explanation of it was the kid who wasn't like the rest
He
of
was.
us.
He was. He was
Instead of
doing
just
this.
sitting there saying the token black kid in our group.
He said it too. In fact, he's the one who came up with it.
I have no comments.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, well, that's it. We don't have anything else to talk about. It's the
Yeah,
end.
cool. Let's just end on that note.
That's what he
If
called it.
JP shows up at your door, kill him.
No, he has to pay for the house yet.
No. Well, if he comes in your
Nah,
house,
wait for the
if he
reparation check to clear first.
if he comes in your house and sits on your fucking couch and shit, then
Number one, I'm not going to come in your house. I will
Say
not.
he-
well,
He
there
doesn't-
goes my dreams.
Open bathrobe.
You just wanted to show up on your door twerking so you can capture it on your ring doorbell.
I cannot twerk.
Yeah, fucking throw his back out again.
I wake up in the night. Who's that knocking?
Fucking moaning, is that moaning Myrtle? No, it's JP twerking on the front porch.
That moaning.
You should record the video on Ring.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
But yeah, I think that's a good time to wrap it up.
All right. We
apologize.
are we are not gonna be back tomorrow. I need to fucking sleep tomorrow.
Samesies.
We will be back though for Wednesday. I think we're gonna beat Sackboy.
Yeah.
Beat Sackboy on Wednesdays. Friday we'll be back for HEGM. Saturday maybe with JP. We'll see how he feels. And we will probably start the Fantastic Beast Roundtable.
Yep.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll do that. We'll finish that off. We
don't
will
know
do
if I'm
Quantumania.
gonna be back. You
All
could
right.
always do it on my channel for all I care.
Well, whatever you want to do. We're out of here though. Fuck everybody.
Cool.
And JP,
Yeah,
goddamn it,
sign up.
it's like like
Really,
he's
really
like,
gonna sign us off on this, huh?
shut up. JP is like really small on my image. And his teeth are super white.
Camera. That is the camera doing that. That's not the brushing.
Oh god, it's so white. All right, we're out of here. Fuck everybody. Love you all.
Night, y'all. Thanks for
Peace.
tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment, share all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Chair all the fun.
Yeah, share all the fun. I'm tired. Go to bed.